Okay guys, we are welcome back. We go straight into the other tools. So we continue. We go to shape. Now we have learned how to add a background. We have learned how to treat text. Now how do we treat shape? So we unselect the text. Let's do away with all the text. So I've told you delete is by this option. Just select it, you delete everything. Now let's go to shape. So if you want to add a shape, you tap on this shape button. Okay. Now once you tap on the shape button, since there is no shape selected on it or there is no shape available, you tap on this to choose a shape. Now once the shape appears here, you have this button to choose the specific type of shape you want. So you can choose a circle, you can choose semicircle, you can choose any shape at all. So let's take a rectangle. You can use these buttons to treat its nature. All right, so let's say we want it like that. Now listen attentively here. Now the radius here affects the corners, so it will treat the corners. For instance, you want a square but with the corners curved in a little, you can use the radius to do that. Now if you want to, this part is about fill. So if the fill means the area inside it is filled white. So if you want to clean it off, you just reduce the opacity. So though it is a shape, but the colored part is off, so you have uncolored it. Now since you have reduced the opacity, any color you choose here won't be shown. Yeah, but if it was there, if you choose yellow, you will see it. If you choose dark, if you choose blue, you see it. If you choose white, you see it. But once you have offed it, you will not see. Now this is stroke. Stroke is adding borders to or adding some thickness around the shape, and you can treat the opacity of the stroke also from there. Then you can choose a color for the stroke also. Okay, now let's move on. Let's bring it back on the shape. All right, now if for instance after editing or getting the shape you want to make any genuine correction on it, you come back to edit, then you treat the shape again. Good. Then you treat the shape again. If you want to delete it, you type here. If you want to crop it, which part of the shape do you want it to display? You can crop the shape using the customize. Since this is open, you can use your customize option to crop it. There you are. So you have it cropped this way. You can reverse it and it comes back. You can use this duplicate just as I taught you. Let's select it. This front to back position, relative what color option. So you can see here that in the case of this shape, the color button is different from the case of the text. So note that the only thing you need is something written here as color. Yeah. So the color can be in this form or in the paint pick option form. All right, so you can choose a color for it. Now once you pick the color, this color affects the whole thing, including the stroke. Good. So note that. Now we can move on. You can set a texture for it through the same process. Opacity. Now let's move on. This can add a stroke again. You can increase the size of the stroke, give a color to the stroke, and all that. Now you can erase. Now this is how to erase. Normally when you tap here, it is the button of the eraser. You can use this to offset the distance between your thumb and where the erasing starts from. So you can do that here. Then you can expand the size of the eraser. Then you can work on the hardness. That is, it should erase though, but the tips shouldn't be so much visible. You see, so when you reduce the hardness, it makes it clean, but the tips becomes more visible. Good. Remove color. With this erase color, for instance, if you have a shape comprising of, let's say, white and black color, you can use the erase color to erase a portion of it. Let's see how it applies. Let me bring in a good shape here. So for instance, we have this shape. Then this shape is white. Let's say we want it to have a gradient color of white and black. Good. Now once we choose it to have white and black, then we go to the remove color and we say it should remove the white. Now automatically it removes white. So if you can see when this white was there, so it will remove the white aspect. Now you can set its tolerance by increasing the tolerance so that it's more smoother. Good. Now you can also choose a different color. For instance, you don't want to remove white, but you want to remove black. So you just tap on the pick option. Then you put the lower button, the button here, on the black. Now the color selector will be shown in the bigger one. So you see it has selected black. Now once you pick it, you just tap on pick color. You see now it has removed the white. Now you set its tolerance. And as you can see, it is well removed. So let's remove the white. Good. Now, I hope you can see what we have gotten here. Good. So I just use that to explain the concept. Good. Now let's delete this one. Now this one too, let's revert it to the white again. So let's remove the color and let's abandon the stroke. Good. Now let's continue. Rotate to just as we have rotate in the other one. 3D rotate to rotate it in a 3D format. Good. Now 3D shape to just as we had talked about shape in the other one. This one also gives it a shape. So you can see this one also gives it that 3D look. Now this one to perspective, just as it does in the letter, it does the same here. Shadow, inner shadow, and emboss, they do the same work. Now this button here too does its edit on the whole presentation. So the whole canvas is affected by any edit you tap here. So if you say rotate, the whole work there will rotate. Now if you want the vignette, I want to bring some dark shade around it. You can treat the shade into any color. Now the noise to bring in some dusty texture around it. The strips will add some lines. You can fade them. The brightness too can be worked there. The hue can affect the hue of the whole design. So if you are forming a gradient color and you want to vary them, you can just pick the color and afterwards you treat the hue of the whole design. But note that it affects the whole design. And saturation also increases the saturation of the whole design. Okay, so these are just final touches that you can apply after your work. Good. Let's continue with the buttons up here. Now this plus sign helps you to, it's a shortcut sign that we use to add text, date, stickers, shapes, and then image from gallery, and also the draw tool. So if you want to add text, this is a simple way of doing it. Instead of going to text and then selecting add, instead of going to text and you want select and they'll give you add text, it is the same thing we have here. This button will help you to add text, add a date, that's the current date, to help you to add a sticker. So you can select stickers from here, then you add it to your design. You can choose any sticker at all and add to your design. Now you can select a shape You can select a shape through there. You can add an image from your gallery. You can draw. You have the draw tool where you can draw freehand and other things. Once it is drawn, we can make use of them.